What's up? I'm Colton Lindsay. I was financially free by the age of 32. Today, my team has got some video shorts set up by my man, my friend, my mentor, Mr. Kris Krohn. I haven't seen these videos, but I already know I'm going to like them because I do business with Kris. I love Kris, and he's helped my business grow dramatically. In fact, I'm going to be speaking at the next UFD event that he's be hosting in Provo, Utah, coming up here in a couple of months, and then also his Financial Genius event, Ignite Your Financial Genius. So go ahead, follow along with me, and let's see your thoughts in the comments down below, and let's get started.
You should buy a house as soon as you humanly possibly can, because your house...
Yes, I completely agree. My biggest mistake as I look back over the last 20-something years of my adult life is I didn't buy more real estate faster. Everything that I bought, even early on, even when I didn't know what I was doing, I've made millions of dollars off of.
will end up being your best investment that you ever make. Before I even made $50,000 a year, I barely...
Same thing. I was not making any money. There was a time it was called stated income loan. I just stated my income and I showed my credit score is, and they gave me a loan. I paid $0 for that house, and now that same property, I think that the purchase price around $50,000 is worth over $200,000 today for the one property.
Weeked in on my very first house, I got away with a 3% down payment, the same program that exists today. I had saved a very small amount of money in the bank. Took me 14 months to get it there. I leveraged myself into a home, had a basement apartment. Once I rented out, covered my entire mortgage. That meant that my wife and...
What I did with mine, I didn't even move in. I put a renter in there and it paid my entire mortgage. In fact, I still own that property today.
I lived upstairs for free. A year later, we got a home equity line of credit. We pulled some money out. We bought another house. That house cash flowed $600 a month. 25 homes later, 4 years later, financially free with $12,000 residual dollars a month, just like you can too right now.
Notice that the dollar amount to become financially free doesn't have to be huge, because here's what the definition of financial freedom is. It's where your leveraged residual income pays for your desired lifestyle. And he's saying his lifestyle at that time, and I know Kris, he makes way more than $12,000 a month residual today, but at that time, $12,000 more than paid for his lifestyle because he was living below his means and he was spending more focus on buying assets versus liabilities. I've done a very similar direction with my properties, into which I have gone and pulled more money out over time and bought more and more properties, especially when interest rates were low. I have at least 6 properties with interest rates of 4% or less. Now, those aren't going to be permanent rates because it's commercial financing, but it is going to be that way for at least another 3 more years. And then guess what? I'm still going to cash flow those properties even as I go up to market rates at that point. But what I was able to do is pull money out of the equity and go buy more real estate, as opposed to what many people do is they take equity out of their property and they go buy a boat or something like that, which is a liability. Do not do that. Go buy more assets.
$1 million 1993 today is now $2,070,000. Inflation in 5 years will probably devalue half of everyone's money listening to this in their 401ks, IRAs, and their soft saving accounts. Like right now, the world is a wreck, and their only solution to the devaluation is they're gonna have to work harder. Over the last 20 years, 2002 to 2022, salaries have increased 27%, but the cost of a home has gone up 148%. In other words, like our cost of living and lifestyles is not keeping up. Average person drives a $60,000 a year car that has a $50,000 a year salary with over $100,000 of student debt, 60% of America living check to check. We have a problem. And being busy is not the solution, and getting another job is not the solution. You have to graduate and develop more of the Gen Z millennial mind that says there's got to be a smarter way. It can't be the immigrant way of just work harder, because there is something to say for hard work. But if it's not smart enough hard work, then it's stupid work. It's dumb work. And
the secret to success is not hard work, although oftentimes I'm working extremely hard. It's actually my willingness to do what I don't feel like doing. And the numbers that he just shared, I'm not a mathematician, but I know well enough that if wages have only gone up 27%, but the cost of living has gone up 148% just to own a home, it doesn't calculate. You cannot hard work yourself to financial freedom in the future of money and even today. So if you're following the traditional model, 401ks, IRAs, and that model, you're going to go broke. Kris teaches 5 different rates of returns, one of which is a single rate of return, which is a giant savings account. So you can go move that into other investments such as double-digit rate of return, triple-digit rate of return, quadruple-digit, and even infinite rate of returns, which is an arbitrage, where you're making money out of thin air. I highly recommend that you learn how to do that. And you got to change your financial blueprint, the way you look at the economy, the way you look at money. And you have to think, how can I take 1 + 1 and make it equal 8? And that happens through the way you invest and the way you spend your money and the way you create a business. You're never going to make this happen working a traditional job on a dollar per hour type position. You have to find ways to get contracts. Contracts is where the money is, whether it's in content or selling a product or creating a mentorship program or having some sort of network marketing company. You have to be able to create multiple layers. And here's what's cool. The younger you start, the first 10 years, it doesn't feel like you're getting extremely rich. But then all of a sudden it starts to compound. And then the second 10 years, it starts to lift off.
And if you're middle class, you're poor. What they do is they say, put money in a 401k, put money in an IRA. And you're like, yes, this will be what I need for retirement. But no one's doing the math. And here's what the math says. The 30-year average on the 401k, the 30-year average in an IRA, do you know roughly over 30 years what the average every year is earned in ROI?
I do not.
It's 5%. And the reason why that's poop
5% is less than inflation.
is because you take $50,000, write this number down, with the passage of time, take 50 grand and ask what happens to it in a 401k over 20 years. It triples. It becomes $160,000. Now, on the one hand, someone might say that's pretty impressive. And I'm like, yeah, but did you know in the 60s, the average person's 401k and IRA is 200 grand. And at age 55, you've topped off your income at $94,000, which means that at retirement, you've saved 2 years worth of money. So after you have cut your expenses in half, you can maybe go 4 years before it's all dried up. It's poop again.
Yeah, it's not going to work. You have to begin to change your financial blueprint. Notice time and time again, he's talking about your average rate of return and how you think about money. If you're following the traditional blueprint and you're only getting 5% return on your investment every single year, you're not going to barely keep up with inflation, especially what we've seen since COVID, where we had as high as officially 9% CPI. I believe it's closer to 20%. How do I know that? I just have to go to the grocery store and see what the cost of food and groceries and clothing and life is today. I know you know this, that it costs way more. So if you're investing the traditional way and your goal is to make only $100,000 a year, you will not become very, very rich. You will become very, very mediocre and average with money. And by the time you get to the end of retirement age, you will not be able to last more than, according to Kris's statistics, 2 to 4 years. The biggest fear today is not death for people. It's that they actually outlive their savings. And with today's technology and the ability to live longer, some people actually need to fund and finance longer term in their life, which means you got to go make way more money now with your business, and you got to invest it and buy way more assets that pay you much higher than 5%. I'm talking 20 to 40% per year compounded over 20, 30, 40 years. And some you get as money as 100% rate of return. And if you go real, real big, you get over 1,000% rate of return. Now, you're not going to do that on every deal, but if you had a consistent, on average, but a very, very, very conservative of, let's say, 15%, very conservative, which is way more aggressive that you're going to get with the traditional financing, but you can do. You'll make way, 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 way more advancement in your financial freedom in the later years of life. All right, if you like today's video, go ahead and click the like button down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Kris is a financial genius. I'm going to be speaking at his event, Ignite Your Financial Genius and Unleash Your Financial Destiny, coming up later this year, so check out for that. And I want to make sure that you're getting the most out of these videos. So the way we can do that is help other people see them. Click that share button, like, comment, share, and we'll see you below. We'll see you soon. Look, I want to say thanks for watching my video. And I know that this isn't for everyone, but it is for certain people that are ready to make big changes. Like, they're ready to create residual revenue. They're ready to become real business owners. They're ready to have a business that makes money even when they're not working. And if that's you, I want you to click the link down in the description, and I want to give you an opportunity to have what's called a triage discovery call. We're going to meet with my head coach and learn where you're stuck in your business and what changes you got to make so that you don't have to work to make money. And I want to say it again, I know that sounds crazy, but imagine you took time off and you still made money. That doesn't mean you don't have a business to grow. You absolutely do. But I'm going to teach you how to grow a business that makes money even when you're not there working. So click the link down below, get your free consultation with my team, and let's really discover where you're at and how you can create it. We'll see you there.